Okay, we're live. So let's get going. We have quite a few people here today. I think, Sejal, I think you were first in line. So do you want to go ahead?
Okay. So I finished working on the Vega.js story, in which I had to work with the graphics and all. And now I'm back with the WikiEd's user profile pages. So I was brushing up on my CSS skills, and I'll improve on the styling of those, of the work which I've done. That's about it from my side.
Okay, great. Thank you. Michael, how about yourself?
Hey, so Sam deployed the fix for the call to action button, so it doesn't show up when you're logged in anymore. And now just nothing kind of shows up in that spot. So probably future tickets are to work on ads and social media and stuff like that. These calls to tweet about Agile Ventures or to upgrade for people that are logged in or potential ideas, but nothing's solid on that yet.
Mm-hmm.
So after the meeting yesterday, I got the dashboard installed for WikiEd, and the tests are running, and I can run in development mode. I had some help from Sage with a couple hiccups that I ran into, so that's working. And I was looking at some of the tickets in the waffle board, potentially even just some of the really simple tickets, like turning some of the synchronous service requests into Sidekick jobs. Seems pretty straightforward. The only question I had was about, I haven't really looked into how we would test that. I looked at the one commit he had linked in the tracker, and it didn't seem like there were any tests surrounding it, or surrounding the asynchronous aspect of it.
Yeah, when I've done async stuff like that, I know we're using Sidekick on this project. We've used a delayed job on MetPlus. You generally have to turn off the async aspect and have the emails go out directly, because there's really not much sense in trying to wait 10 seconds or whatever for the async period to pass. So that's generally what I've seen. You just turn it off and send the emails out immediately.
Right.
Otherwise, you're just testing Sidekick functionality, and we don't need to do that. They're going to send it out after the delay anyway, so we don't need to test their functionality. You know what I mean?
Yes, to a certain degree, but you do need to test that you've integrated correctly with Sidekick. Right?
Yep.
Otherwise, that's kind of an untested link in the chain.
Well, when you send out the email, you look for the presence of the email. The email doesn't get created directly. It gets created by Sidekick via the perform method. And the perform method in test has a 0 wait. So if you haven't integrated correctly with Sidekick, the email will not get created, and your test will fail.
Yeah, I understand that, but it's kind of, these aren't necessarily emails. There's something, it's different things.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm just using emails. Email's a typical example, right?
Right. So I'll look into that.
Okay, cool. Let's see. Who was next? Hinesh, I think you might have been next up.
Yeah, so for me, I've been working on the MetPlus mod profile pages. I've actually just committed done the job seekers one, so I'll do the other two, run the tests and get it committed hopefully tonight. And that's about it for me. No blockers.
Okay, great. Excellent. Sagu, I'm trying to remember who came in next, but anyway, let's just go random now. How about yourself?
Yeah, it's okay. So I haven't worked on MetPlus of late. I've been trying to look around for any new issues, but maybe with your help, I can pick up another one to work on. For the upgrade, I was trying the upgrade, but it was a bit tricky. I've seen it just replied to the question I had on Slack, so everything is okay so far.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Let's see. Actually, Vijay, I think you might have been next. Hi.
Hi, Patrick. I'm working on my story job seeker redirect. I made some observation. Whenever you have time, let me know. We'll discuss about what is the observation. Then I'll work
Oh, you put in the
on
story?
that story. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen that yet. I'll take a look at it.
Okay.
All right. Stella, hi. How are you? Oops, I guess Stella had to drop. Okay. Hopefully it wasn't something I said. She'll probably be rejoining us. Arun, hi. How are things going
Hi,
with you?
Patrick.
Hey.
Hi. So I have been working on a ticket and wiki dashboard, and it was regarding displaying a notification component, and I just updated the PR right before the Hangout. So I'm done with that, and I'm going to be working on a ticket that I just assigned myself to in MedPlus. For me, my days just getting started. Yesterday I didn't do anything worth telling.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. We'll come back to the MetPlus stories that people are looking for in a second, but yep. Thanks for the update, Arun. Stella, hi. Can you hear us?
Okay, hi.
Hi. So what's your update?
I was working on the Ruby on the upgrade in MedClass, and I want to pick another issue, so you could help me out.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That sounds good. Just from your, I don't know if you saw my Slack update just a minute ago, Stella.
Yeah.
But I've created a branch and I'm running that in 2.3.3.
On my local on my local
On my local,
3.3.
Yeah, on my machine, my local machine.
On my machine. Yeah, 2.3.3, the RSpec tests were running properly, but on Cucumber, some were failing.
Yeah, so I'm going to run Cucumber a little bit later today. I saw your note about Cucumber failing. So that helped me get a start anyway. So, okay. So in terms of stories, we can look at that right after the Scrum then, Stella, if you want to hang out. We could look at that. Anybody else as well? I did create some stories this morning for people who are working on MetPlus stories. I went back and I looked at, our test coverage is only about 91%, 92%. It slipped recently. So I created a bunch of test stories that might be useful. And there's a few other stories in there that are important. One in particular was outstanding. Somebody had taken a story a couple of months ago, and it was a really important story, and it's gating a couple other stories. And I've finally confirmed with the person that they just don't have time to get to the story. So that's an important one. We can look at that as well if somebody wants to take that.
Okay.
And I think, is that all the news that I have? And I've got nothing new on WikiEd. I haven't been able to do anything there. And the only other thing that I've been doing is reviewing requirements from DREE. They're a hosting service provider in the UK that Sam is trying to get a development project with, and it looks like they want to use us to develop a dashboard for their service. And so I've thrown my hat in the ring and say I'll help out with that. So I've been catching up on requirements for that. Okay, I think that's pretty much it, unless anybody else has anything for the Scrum.
Not for the Scrum really.
Okay.
But but a little help from you guys. Stella is afraid to ask you guys for advice. She has an interview for Basecamp internship. So if anyone has any tip on how to go about it, what to really expect on that, it would be great.
What Basecamp is that?
The DHH Basecamp.
Oh, that one. Oh.
Yeah, that one.
Where's that being held? Is that remote or is that?
Yeah, it's a remote thing.
On Skype.
On Wednesday you have that? You said? I don't know. I'm not familiar with that. Anybody else have any experience with that or opinion?
No, never heard of it.
Is it a 3-month base camp like a lot of these code camps?
It's an internship at basecamp.com, the company for DHH and JSON.
Oh, base camp. I was thinking code
Yes.
camp. Yeah, got
No,
it.
Basecamp.
Oh, that would be awesome if you got that.
Yeah, yeah. So just a few pointers on what to really expect about it.
Well, I do know if you Google DHH interview, that kind of thing. I know I saw at least one YouTube video where he talked about, or maybe it was a blog posting, where he talks about how he reviews resumes and applicants' experience level and what kind of questions he might ask. I don't know if he particularly would be doing it, probably somebody in the organization, but I think there's a lot of information about there about how he views job applicants. Internship would be different, of course, but I'm sure you can find stuff. DHH is nothing if not opinionated.
I know.
and he likes to document his opinions, so there's plenty of stuff out there, I'm sure.
Mhm.
Yeah. Don't have commented code if you submit code. One thing I remember, if you submit code and you actually have sections of your code that are still there, but to comment it out, he stops looking right away and says he's done. If you don't like the code, take it out. If it's production, uncomment out. That kind of thing. I remember that one in particular because I find that sloppy too.
Okay.
But anyway, whatever it is, good luck, Stella.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
all the best.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, good luck. Patrick,
Yeah.
you'll be developing a dashboard for Treehouse.
For who?
You said something about dashboard.
Yeah, there's an organization called DRIE in the UK. It's spelled D-R-I-E.
Okay.
You thought I said treehouse?
I heard tree.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me know how you go about it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's just getting started now. I think Sam's going to be submitting a financial proposal to them tomorrow for the cost. It'll be like a 2 or 3 week effort. Looks pretty interesting, actually.
Because I'm working on a dashboard for WikiEd.
Ah. Yeah.
I would definitely get to learn something from you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, vice versa.
Yeah, it does look interesting actually. Quite a lot of stuff in here.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, they provide a hosting service. What they're doing is they're putting their customers on AWS, but they're providing a service to prevent you from having to go in and fiddle with AWS and do any DevOps. So they take care of that all for their customer. And so they're trying to build some nice interface, a dashboard, integration with GitHub, for instance, like Semaphore and Travis and those guys. So you push your code up to GitHub, and then you can say, okay, DRIE, go ahead and build out my staging or my production platform. And webhooks take over and things happen, just like with the other services. So that's a little bit about what they're trying to do.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
AWS, did you guys decide on the services which you guys are going to use?
Well, AWS is chosen by DRIE to build their business on. Is that what you're asking? Or
No, there are many services which AWS provides.
Oh yeah, well, I think right now they're limited. Initially, they were limited to just application hosting. They weren't doing databases. They weren't doing relational database or Mongo or anything like that. But I think they're now thinking toward providing a complete service and use AWS underneath. So they would accommodate databases. They would accommodate obviously any other components that you might need that AWS. So AWS does everything, right? Yeah. So I think they're thinking of leveraging that and offering all of that to their customers for a price, of course, but might be worth doing.
Sounds cool.
Yeah, kind of cool. All right, with that, maybe what we can do is break off then, because I think we want to look at some MetPlus stories. Is that right?
Yep.
And Yeah, why don't we do that then? Let me see. Let me get my Met Plus on here.
Quick question: does Lava want the footer done as well for that navbar story?
Say that again, Hinesh.
Does Lara want the footer done as well for the navbar story?
So, did she make a comment on your story? I think she did, didn't she?
She raised the story. That's what I was wondering.
Okay. So, what I told her, Hinesh, was that when you were doing your story on the navbar, you also addressed the footer.
Yeah.
And that you and I talked about, her design intent was that the footer navbar have the same links, the same information, except for additional stuff like copyright. But essentially the same links as the main navbar at the top.
Okay.
And we decided, I blamed it on you. I said, you decided that the, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
No, I said, you and I talked about it and realized the footer doesn't need to have all the significant links to significant functionality. It didn't make any sense, so we shortened it up.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked her to take a look at it. I pointed to the PR that you closed on.
Yeah.
And I said, read the conversation in there that Hinesh and I had going back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Where we decided to, shut down what the footer contains. So that's where we're at this point. So at this point, I just want her to say, yeah, that's okay, or no, I want my original design to be fulfilled, in which case we'll go back and redo it.
Because to be honest, it's not worth doing the footer until we're mobile responsive anyway.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, then there'll be a full redesign of the UI anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think if people are relying upon the footer to access significant functionality, like register as a company, that's crazy.
Yeah, that is.
That means you've got a page that they have to scroll down 6 times to get to the footer, and while they're down there, they don't want to scroll all the way back up to get somewhere.
Exactly.
Which means we've missed the whole UI design anyway.
Exactly.
So, yep. Let's see. So I can share my screen. Let's do that. Let's see. Is this? Yeah. So were there any particular questions we had on this, or we just want to go over some of the outstanding stories?
We just go over the stories.
Just go over the stories. So we don't need to review anything in progress, right?
No.
Arun, anybody else?
No, because my UI stories, I got 2 there. One which I'm working on now, and the second one's dependent on the first one anyway. So
yeah, they're linked, aren't they?
Yeah.
So you got to do that.
So I'll just wait again, like last time, for that one to be merged in. Then I'll do the second one.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Good. Arun, did you have a question or something we want to investigate on a story you're working on right now?
No, not really. So let's move on to working on stories.
Okay. All right. So this is the one. This is the one that I mentioned earlier, where this has been outstanding for quite a while. I think 3 months. I think when the guy took it. So it was one of the MOOC students, and I kept bothering him, saying, "Hey, are you gonna make any progress on that?" And he finally today said, "Look, I gave up. I'm swamped. So I took his name off it." So the story here is that when a job developer, when a company person rejects an application from a job seeker, they're supposed to enter a reason for rejection. It's just text now. So they type in the text why they don't like that applicant for that particular job. And that was implemented, but I didn't discover until like 3 months ago that we actually weren't storing that reason in the database. The intent was to store it in the database, but we just capture and we throw it away. So this story is to store it in the database, add a field, etc. Let's see what else. And then just make sure that we test the heck out of that. So that's essentially what we need to do here. But the actual capture in a form, the rejection form of the reason text is there. It comes back to the controller, and then we just throw it away. So that's essentially what that story is about. It's a critical story because it's important to have that. And then I have a bunch of tests here. So what I did, if you want to look at any of those, I kind of just voted on them myself because I didn't think we wanted to spend a lot of time on voting for these things. It's fairly obvious if they're complex or semi-complex or not. And for each of these, what I did was I just linked to the code climate report on test coverage for that particular one, and you can see, we've got an untested method down here, that kind of thing. So from that, you'll be able to see what kind of tests you need to add. That's all. So they're all fairly simple. This one here, I think that's pretty much it. Maybe I put a little bit of text in. Most of them are bare bones. I didn't bother to actually document these very well, but you get the idea. You can just follow along the logic. Here I just say, this is the code that needs testing. But anyway, so there's that. So there's now some stories there for people to take. Let's see, what's this one? So here's another UI story that nobody's taken up yet, which is something that Laura had done. Let me see what that looks like. That is administrative pages. Right. Go down here. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she want to change the links for the administration page.
Yeah, so she's changed, the look and feel here.
Yeah.
And, I think you used to scroll down to go, you look at job specialties and you scroll down this big page and get the job skills, etc. Now she's kind of broken those up into separate pages. So you basically have just one screen containing the information you need. You don't have to scroll up and down. So that's all that's really happening there. So there's a UI story if somebody wants to take that.
So that'll be a bit of JavaScript as well, wouldn't it?
What's that?
A bit of JavaScript as well in there, probably.
There definitely was JavaScript in there. You used to have a very long page.
Yeah.
And in fact, if you want.
But before that, she has to separate the companies and agencies with a link.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Is there a link where this project is up and running?
Yeah, I think so. I believe so. Let me find that and send it to you, Sejal. Because we're going through a process of switching over to a new set of platforms from Heroku to something else, and I need to catch up to that.
Okay.
So let me log in as. So what happened was when you go to admin and you go to say something, one of these submenus, you would see something like this: agency information, branches. So if you wanted to edit a branch, you'd click here and go to that branch. So she's agency personnel, again, edit and add, companies, edit and add. So what she's done, she's broken this up and said each of these is a separate page in and of itself, so you don't have to scroll down to see stuff. And you'll see buttons at the top to go from page to page. You mentioned
JavaScript, yeah.
So, one way that when I built this, I'm responsible for this travesty. When I built this, in order to collapse some information so it's not such a scroll nightmare, we put this little stuff here. This is all JavaScript, right? Just back and forth business. Also, the pagination here, you'll notice that typically when you do paginate, you're actually going to go to the top of the page every time because paginate out of the box reloads the page. So if I'm way down here and I'm paginating away, then generally what would happen each time I hit next or previous or whatever, I'd go to the top and I'd have to scroll down every time. So what we did was these are all JavaScript-driven pagination. So we're not going to the top. We're just updating the DOM here of this pagination table. That's stuff we want to keep. Don't do away with that.
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah,
it's just more splitting this up into a single page.
Yeah, we are doing partial page updates.
Yeah.
Exactly. This looks a lot cleaner to me, rather than scrolling down to find the particular section I'm dealing with. So that's what's happening there.
What you could do is just put a div there and have each one populate as a div on the same div again.
You could. Yeah, there's multiple ways to implement that, I guess. Absolutely. Yep. So that is that that story there. And I think that's it as far as stories that I've got queued up right now. And then we've got the upgrade Ruby one. Stella, you said you're going to continue to work on that, or are you going to abandon that to Sagu and move on, or what? What is your thoughts on that?
I'll continue working on it.
Okay. So like I said, I'll run Cucumber tests in a 2.3.3 environment, and I'll let you and Sagu know how I do on that.
Okay.
Our spec, I didn't have a problem, but I'll see what happens with Cucumber there. So do you guys think that we shouldn't try to do 2.4?
Okay.
Do you think 2.4 is too far to go?
Had some issues.
I think because it's still quite
Big Nam and
new.
Fix Nam.
Yeah.
What was that, Stella? Sorry.
I shared the link on MetPlus. Info had issues with deprecation with Fix Nam and Big Nam.
Oh, I saw
warnings.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sagu's right. That's just a warning. And deprecate means we still support it, but in some future release they'll go away. So fix your code. That's all that means. So we're okay there.
Those are on something linked to it. I can't really recall, but I also shared.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll take a look at that then.
Okay.
All right.
Patrick,
Yes.
in my story, can you open the story? You are already.
Yeah. Let me go back to screen sharing.
Yeah,
This one?
the redirect. Yeah. In the
Yeah. So, do you want an explanation of what this story's not very well documented, is it?
No, I don't need explanation, Patrick, for that one. Currently, we have after the job seeker updates is record or profile, it is redirect into the home page.
Right. So
we want to redirect into the job seekers home page, yes?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to go to the. I'm calling what we call the homepage the landing page.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, but whatever the authorizations is, once I update the job seeker to the home page, you are not authorized to update. But our job seeker has to authorize to his record because he has to update. But behind the scenes, is update the record, but the message shows you are not authorized to do. That is the problem I noticed for there.
Okay, let's see. This authorization?
Yeah, I have already working on the branch. If you want, I will show you what is the problem.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Let's do that because I don't get that. It looks like the authorization is okay, but there must be something else going on there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that, Stella. You put that on Slack, right? Yep. I'll try that too. I'll try that too later.
Okay.
Patrick, this is the default. We have redirect to the root path.
Vijay, I can't see your screen yet.
Okay, I did not share. Okay. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Okay. This is the default we have route path, but different user if it is a job seeker or case manager or job developer. If I connected the job developer, no problem. But if I connected as the job seeker, I'm getting this message. But anyway, record is updated.
Yeah, so you don't want to redirect to the new job seeker path. You want to just redirect to the job seeker. What's the route for job seeker homepage?
I think job seeker ID / I'll show it to you right now. Record also.
Yeah, let's do. Yeah. Yeah.
This is the job seeker. Boom.
Oh yeah. Where's it?
This one.
Jobs. Okay, and it's okay. So you want to redirect to home job seeker path.
Yeah, because after I log in into the job seeker, at first I'm in the home page after successfully connected to the job seeker. That's why I put it the home as the job seeker.
So in your code, though, you're going to redirect to home job seeker path, right?
Yeah.
If the user's a job seeker.
Yeah.
As opposed to the new job seeker path. Yeah, you don't want to go there. Yeah, it's home job seeker path would be the helper.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that was probably your problem there.
I already connected.
There you go.
Yeah, the
That's
only
right.
route. Okay, thank you, Pat.
Oh, no problem. Okay, let's see. I guess that's about it then. Anybody else have anything we should talk about?
No, all good.
Okay.
Patrick?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would like to take on 535, and I already have a ticket assigned to me, but I can manage.
And 535 was the the UI
Yeah,
one we talked about. Yeah, that
Yeah.
redesign of the admin pages.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll get to work on it.
Great. So this morning, Arun, I was talking to Laura, and I think we've got most of the UI stories done. She's got one outstanding she's working on, and now you're going to take this one. I think those are the last two outstanding UI stories that she created.
My one as well.
And yours as well, that's right. So what I asked her to do is once we get those in, if she could do another review of the application, consistent with everything we've changed. And I also pointed out some of the things that you've done, Arun, with an explicit back button, using buttons instead of links, things like that. You and I, she had looked at that at one point. So take a look at the whole thing and see if we can make the UI more uniform, including all the good ideas we've developed with this redesign effort. And then she can create more stories to extend the design into the other areas that it doesn't reach right now. So, and she agreed to that. She wants to do that. She's happy to see her design come to reality, which is great.
Yeah,
So,
looking forward.
Yeah, more to come on that too.
Yeah,
Okay.
quite enjoying the UI ones actually. Different.
What's that?
Different experience working on UI actually.
Yeah, and Laura's pretty talented. She
Yeah.
actually, as you guys know, she does that to some degree for a living with her clients. So she's got some great ideas.
Yeah, because Phantom's quite big now, isn't it? It's huge.
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
Massive.
Yeah. So it's good to see that energy happening right now.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just running the tests and I should get that code committed soon, probably within the hour now.
Okay, make sure the PR doesn't come in with 60 files attached to it, okay?
Yeah, no, this time it's the one. The reason why that was happening is because it wasn't merged in, I had to merge the navbar branch in because I had dependencies.
Yeah.
So what I'll do this time is I'll wait for one of the stories to get merged in before I do it again.
Yeah, so you had PR with 10 files changed and the other one had 10 files changed, but the addition cost 20 files to be associated. Yeah, I know. Good.
Yeah.
That's the problem. It's like these UI upgrades, they tend to be intermeshed together. So that happens.
So this time I'll just wait until this gets merged in, then I'll work on the other story.
Yeah, sounds good.
Way better, yeah.
All right. Okay, cool. Anybody else have anything? All right, thanks everybody.
Thanks.
All right.
Bye.
Talk tomorrow. Bye now.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.